Hello friends, hope everyone is having a wonderful Tuesday. My name is Shiva. I am the managing attorney and one half of Tier 1 Credit, as well as an attorney with Gopal Law Group, a law firm based here in Los Angeles. And today, we'd like to talk about something that we've been seeing quite a bit of sort of confusion or maybe lack of clarity, which is what is credit repair, what is debt settlement, and what's the difference, and also which strategy or which service should you use in a particular case based on your specific financial needs. So, credit repair. In a nutshell, credit repair refers to the process of addressing inaccurate negative information on your credit reports and also building positive new credit. So by law, the Fair Credit Reporting Act that is, which is a federal law, every piece of information on your credit reports must meet a number of requirements. Amongst those, it has to be accurate, meaning not just that the account belongs to you, but that every piece of information is 100% correct. It also has to be verifiable, meaning if something appears on the credit report saying an account was opened on May 1st and the balance is $2,802, the credit issuer, that's a debt collector, credit card company, auto lender, mortgage company, whoever placed the information there, has to be able to provide proof this information is correct. Lastly, items on your credit report can't be too old. Most things cannot appear for more than 7 to 7.5 years, the exception being certain types of bankruptcies. It's very common for outdated information to appear on your reports. So credit repair refers to using the law to find out whether information on your report is not accurate or not verifiable or outdated, and if so, working to correct or remove the information. Credit repair also refers to, in our opinion, and Tony, who's recording this video, always says this, building positive new credit. That could mean if you have poor credit, or no credit really, opening a secured credit card, opening a credit builder account, becoming an authorized user, things of that nature to add more positive marks to your credit profile. So that's credit repair, removing inaccurate negative items and building positive new credit. Now what's debt settlement? In our view, and this is what most attorneys in the consumer space would say, debt settlement refers to settling charged off or unpaid debts with the creditor or with the collector. So if you had a credit card with $3,000 owed and you weren't able to pay, and the account was charged off, let's say by Capital One, we see that very often. Debt settlement might refer to reaching an agreement with Capital One to settle that debt, either for what's owed or for less, where you'd repay it over a certain period of time and the account would be marked as paid. And if you have a number of unpaid debts, then debt settlement would be the process of resolving each of those debts. Now why are we talking about debt settlement? I have a lot of customers coming in here, and Tony has been dealing with this for years prior to that, who have a lot of unpaid debts, tens of thousands of dollars in some cases, multiple credit cards charged off. What these folks need is debt settlement. And if you're one of these people, what you need to do is work with an attorney or other professional, ideally an attorney, who can help you settle and resolve some of these debts. What you don't need at the moment is credit repair. Why am I saying that? Why am I saying no to your business and working with you? It's not because we don't like you. It's more because we know that when there's a large volume of unpaid debts that have been charged off, you're not likely to remove all of them without paying and settling some of them. So very often, if you have, I'd say more than $5,000 to $6,000 of unpaid charged off bad debt, the debt you're not making payments on right now, you should seriously consider working on settling some of those debts. You can try to do the settlement yourself. Many customers have been very successful with that. At the same time, it often makes sense to work with an attorney or other professional so that you can negotiate the best terms and rates on your debt settlement possible. And then after you settle some debts, it can make sense to go back and do credit repair, whether it's building positive new credit or removing or correcting some accounts with inaccuracies and which are negative. But really, there's no point in doing credit repair when you have a large volume of unpaid charged off debt. And in fact, one of the biggest reasons why you should consider debt settlement, if you have unpaid debts, any single unpaid debt over about $1,500, I'd say, and obviously if you have multiple of those, If you have an unpaid debt over $1,500, and this is not a hard and fast rule, but $1,500 is sort of a good ballpark, you're at risk of being sued by the creditor or debt collector. Could lead to your wages being garnished, your bank account frozen, a lot of negative, very unpleasant consequences that you don't want to deal with. And so that's why we suggest if you have debts for over $1,500, particularly multiple debts like that, you should consider debt settlement and then look into credit repair. Once you settle some of these debts, start building some new credit and maybe remove a few of the old accounts if there are issues with them that allow for removal. But debt settlement and credit repair are two different things. Credit repair works best when you have a limited amount of unpaid debts and you're in a position to sort of, work on and build credit for a while. Debt settlement makes sense when you have a lot of unpaid debts and you need to settle them. And if your debts are serious enough, bankruptcy is an option, but we'll cover that in a later course. For now, consider debt settlement if you have more than $4,000 to $5,000 of unpaid debt or more than $1,500 on any one account. If you have several smaller debts, less than that, credit repair is a great option to look at. I'm Shiva. Tony and I are from Tier 1 Credit. Thanks again for joining us. We'll talk to you soon.